In keeping with my attempts to discuss films from female directors, I decided today I'll discuss the rather magnificent picture Wrony, which translates into English from Polish as Crows, directed by one Dorota Kędzierzawska. This film is, we, Poland was apparently quite proud of it. It was submitted as the entry for the Best Foreign Language Film at the Academy Awards that year, 68th. Unfortunately, it was not accepted as a nominee. It's not an easy film, it's quite a confronting film, fairly disturbing actually. Well, let me read out the premise for you. I'll share the IMDb blurb. That'll do better justice, perhaps. It was submitted by jhaley@hotmail.com. A thin child of about 10, nicknamed Crow because she mimics the bird, has no friends and rejects the teacher's hug. At home she is left on her own. Her mum locks her out while entertaining a lover or is asleep. One morning, Crow sees a chubby, cherubic child hugged by both parents as the father leaves for work. When the toddler is left alone, Crow lifts her through the fence and kidnaps her. That day, Crow tries to mother the child, alternately playing with and scolding her, taking her to the beach, leaving shore in a boat, pushing her into the sea in a peak, and eventually carrying the sleeping child back home. Crow returns to her own mother and asks for affection. You'll be able to garner by the screen caps that this is a phenomenal film visually. I think the photography is magnificent. It's courtesy of one cinematographer, Arthur Reinhardt. Absolutely phenomenal job here. Again, the film is quite disturbing and disquieting. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable watching it, just because. I mean, it's just really. It reminds me of some of these horrible cases you've heard about in the news, right? Here's what some IMDb reviews have to say. There's 3 user reviews. I'm going to read them out from earliest to latest. Ralph Shavapfril from 2005, 15th of January, 10 out of 10, simply beautiful. One of my favourites. Pictures, acting, music, sound all matches perfectly. The both girls are a mystery. Kędzierzawska told the Berlinale that after months of casting they already began shooting, but the young actors failed, and right on the marketplace in the city they shot, they found their substitutes. Good example of the typical Polish way to mix fairy tale, atmosphere of artistic strength and docu-like approach to reality. It could change your view on childhood forever, and it never crosses the thin red line to artsy kitsch, as unfortunately Kędzierzawska's following movie did, where she told the true story of a child murdered with Hamilton-like way too soft pictures. I actually haven't seen any of her other films, as of yet at least. Another 10 out of 10 from film critic Lalit Rao, Some Strange Games Which Children Play. This is from the 11th of September 2008. Dorota Kędzierzawska is a fresh voice of Polish cinema. In most of her films one can discern an element of truth which is close to reality. A vast majority of her films are based on events which have happened in real life. It is for this reason that we see a mix of documentary as well as fiction in her films. Although her film Wrony/Crows features children as its protagonists, it should not be construed as a film for children, as grown-ups too have a lot to learn from it. At the core of this melancholic film is a little imp who is neglected by her family. How she takes revenge on grown-ups by kidnapping a young girl remains the crux of the screenplay. Dorota Kędzierzawska has directed her film with great charm and ingenuity, using a multidimensional perspective where both the kidnapped kid as well as her juvenile kidnapper are given equal attention. It is very rare for a European film to deal with touchy issue of motherhood. Crows is one of the few films which handles such a tricky issue in a deft manner.